And then I'm going to mute your phone when you're not talking, okay?
Sounds good.
People are to join now.
Yay. That's always a good sign.
Why don't we get started? Welcome, everybody. This is Casey O'Brien. I'm the Executive Director and Principal Investigator of the National CyberWatch Center. And we have a couple folks, Nick and Princess, with the Department of Homeland Security with us this morning to talk about the Stop.Think.Connect program and specifically how academic institutions, really what's in it for them, how they may partner, resources available. And this is our last installment of the 2015 webinar series. So we've been running for the past, I guess we did 8 different webinars. We took a couple months off in summer, and we usually don't do one in January. So let's just web protocol here, some webinar protocol that is. So mute your phones when you're not talking. Everybody seems to be doing a good job. If you run into any problems during the webinar, there is a chat feature, and folks are welcome to use that. You can send messages directly to me, either privately or to everybody, and I know there will be time for questions, and I know Princess is interested in kind of getting some feedback from the participants. We are recording this. We will be making it available. Let me go over to the CyberWatch website real quick. Under events in the upper right on nationalcyberwatch.org, you'll see Connect land. I've already got the slides available, and probably Monday-ish we'll have a link to our YouTube channel of this, and you're welcome to share that with folks. So let's see. Without further ado, Prince, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Casey. I'm very excited to be closing out the year for you guys in terms of the webinar. And I just want to thank everyone who's on the call and the webinar today. I just really appreciate all the great work that you guys are all doing at your respective schools. And I'm really happy today to be able to talk about resources that we have here at the Department of Homeland Security as they relate to the Stop.Think.Connect campaign, National Cybersecurity Awareness Month that just concluded, as well as a host of other wonderful resources that you can use hopefully on a daily basis within your institutions, but also maybe even take some of these resources to fellow community members, businesses, and anywhere else that you kind of gravitate toward. What I love about our specific programs is the fact that these are things that people can use not only in their day job, but they can use it past the 9 to 5 and implement these kinds of things in their everyday lives. So, see right now on our first slide, cyber really is a shared responsibility. This is a phrase that we take to heart and we utilize in all our messaging. It's because just how true the statement is. We're giving our kids tablets and smartphones, and we're also helping our older Americans transition into utilizing this technology that wasn't even existent many, many years ago. Kind of running the spectrum, and every age, every demographic, every person is using technology in some way. And our students are using technology greatly, which I'll get into in just a minute. But just some of our fast stats that we want to share with you in terms of how wonderful technology is, but unfortunately how those can bring about some negative aspects as well. So things like bullying that should be taking place just during the school day, school in person, now also being facilitated on the internet. And also in terms of internet fraud, identity theft, phishing, scams, all those kinds of things are all being facilitated on the internet now, as you know. So it's kind of become just an in-person attack. And so these are things that we work really hard to bring a fix to and help people understand, digest the information a little better so that they can better protect themselves moving forward. It's amazing to see that the U.S. Navy receives more than 30 cyber attacks every second. And so obviously there's networks across the world that are very high risk for getting kinds of attacks brought upon them. And so I think it's important for everyone to play their part to keep a network safe because, all our networks are connected, obviously. The internet is that series of tubes, and so everything is connected in one way or another, and everything that we do here affects everyone else in that trickle-down effect and even kind of a trickle-up effect. So having one link in that network can really, cause a pretty drastic problem for us at any one time. So with that, I'll kind of let you read those stats on your own moving forward, but let's go next slide, please. So as I was saying earlier, young adults and the internet kind of go hand in hand, kind of like peanut butter and jelly these days. You don't see too many young people without their smartphone or tablet in hand. So what's pretty amazing is just to see kind of the gravity of how many students are online. As I said, we've got young kids now that are already using the internet and technology, sometimes as a toddler. A recent study was done, and it showed that kids are online between 6 and 8 hours a day. And so be thinking about, if your kids are sleeping for 8 hours and they're at school for about 8 hours, if that's a K through 12 age, then that means the rest of their life is usually connected to the internet. And so they're actually building behaviors and values on a culture for themselves of internet use that they are then taking with them as they go to college and as they become an adult and, ultimately a business professional in some aspect. So it's important to be teaching these kids at all levels and students at all levels about safer internet use, of course, just because, like it says on the slide, college students are twice as likely to be stalked as the general public. And we're living in a world where oversharing is the norm. And so, students aren't thinking about when they're, doing the checking in on their social media applications or talking about, their weekend plans are and where they're going to be or where they're not going to be. So, for instance, they're saying, I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks. If they also have their address somewhere on that social media page, it is very likely that, one of the friends or a friend of a friend could put 2 and 2 together. Realize, hey, that person is not at home right now. I could do whatever I want and head over there. So it's kind of interesting to see how students are using the internet. It's great that we now can facilitate better online research and have students attend online classes, but at the same time, they're creating this online reputation for themselves as well. There was recently a story out that was saying how a high school student was doing really, really well in his favorite sport, so much so that he was offered a scholarship, a full-ride scholarship to attend your prestigious university. However, after the recruiters did a little bit further digging and saw some of his social media accounts, they realized that the student wasn't really who they wanted representing their school, wasn't the greatest ambassador for them. Basically, he had written and posted on his website, his social media accounts, and so they revoked his scholarship. So I think it's just very important to remind students of these real-life learning lessons. Don't be that guy. Don't, learn from other people's mistakes. Don't be the person that has to make a mistake and have to learn that lesson. Be smart about what you're posting and what you're sharing online, what you're looking at online, and all those kinds of things. So that's just kind of my quick plug for how important we feel cybersecurity awarenesses specifically to students. So next slide, please. So kind of as cybersecurity awareness relates to National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, I really wanted to give you guys a little bit of summarization of what happened. As you guys all know, Awareness Month was this last month, along with National Cheese Month and Halloween. So I hope, you know, across all of those very important events, you took some time to celebrate Awareness Month as well. So with that, you can go to the next slide. And if you already know a little bit more about National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, it's our 12th year. We celebrated our 12th year this October, and it's formally recognized by the President. So if you were to go to whitehouse.gov and check through their proclamations, you see that the President put a presidential proclamation proclaiming October as National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So, you know, we have strong support for the month, so it's a really good opportunity to get everyone talking about awareness in cyber across the country and across the world. We now have people that join the Stop.Think.Connect campaign in India and in Europe and Africa, and just a host of other countries that are very countries and continents that are very interested in security awareness as well. And we're all realizing, you know, if we can all just make the internet safer for everyone, and, you know, again, there's that shared responsibility, but we can only make America better in this way. So with that, next slide. We hope that you were all able to participate in the month in some way or another. In addition to it being the 12th year of Awareness Month, it was also our 5th year anniversary of the Stop.Think.Connect campaign, which I will discuss a little bit more momentarily. But what we found was, as opposed to trying to tell someone, okay, you've got your full month, your full 31 days of October that you've got to you know, come up with a plug for and theming around and et cetera, and daily messages, we realized that it was a little bit easier to actually break up the month into week-by-week themes. So as opposed to past years, if you participated before, we also decided this year that we were going to take an approach that was a little bit more person-friendly. And so as opposed to talking about secure IT development or critical infrastructure and making that a full week-long theme, we enfolded those types of messaging into the weekly themes that were a little bit broader. So it's awesome that we were able to instead go to things like creating a culture of cybersecurity at work and talking about connected communities and your evolving digital life. And then the last week, of course, was building the next generation of cyber professionals, which we felt was a great opportunity for people to highlight security in formal education. So as you can see, this is kind of how you can look forward to seeing the month laid out next year. And if you were able to participate in some way, that is fantastic. I actually was hoping that if anyone's on today that participated in some way with school, if you want to send me a note either in the chat or I'll have my email at the end, we would love to hear what you did and the successes that you had during Awareness Month. So next slide, please. Along with our 5 themes, we also have a keystone event around each week. So each week we attempt to go to 5 different areas in the country and host a keystone event. This year we actually did events in Indianapolis, Los Angeles, New York, and 2 in Washington, D.C., which actually gave us over 1,000 participants at these events in total. Some of the events are, a little bit more government focused. However, for example, in Los Angeles, our Keystone event took place at Los Angeles's Universal Studios, and we had some wonderful sponsors and partners that worked with us and our partner, National CyberSecurity Alliance, to make this event happen. And we actually were able to bring in about 300 elementary-aged students to teach them about how their communities are connected through technology and the internet, giving them some great cybersecurity awareness tips and resources, and then lastly talking to them about cyber careers. And I mean, this is the perfect time to share what cyber career can be for students at this age, because they're at that time in their lives where they're still figuring out what they want to do. And so, of course, in addition to dancer, singer, astronaut, rock star, all those types of professions, we want to make sure that cyber professional starts getting brought into that conversation as well. That's one example of one of the Keystone events we had. It was very successful, but we were all the country throughout the month. As you can see, DHS professionals actually participated in 98 Awareness Month events throughout October across the country. And so that's even more than last year, which is fantastic. And there were even a total of 141 Awareness Month events. And those are events that maybe were hosted by partners and other stakeholders like that. So again, this is what we have to date. So if any of you are interested in sharing what you did, we would love to add your events to our overall numbers as well. Additionally, as you can see, we have campaign materials, and so we distributed a ton of them. We had a couple conferences that actually requested materials to be put in every participant's bag. So it's a really cool way to get our message across and both the message and, sometimes untraditional channels. Like one of the events was with Educause. So we were able to go and speak with teachers about why cyber informal education is so important. Other stats that I would love to share with you guys is that we had 21 new partners join in October alone into our Stop.Think.Connect campaign. And so just a very big shout out and a very big thank you to Casey and the National CyberWatch Center for having so many of those partners actually come from community colleges. And we also had local governments joining, as well as nonprofit organizations like Girls Who Code, along with government entities like Housing and Urban Development, and a host of others. So thank you to anyone who helped promote Awareness Month and our campaign. And again, I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about, if you're not a campaign partner, how you can join. But additionally, we had over 207 million Twitter impressions using our hashtag CyberAware for this year. And we also had over 50,000 web hits to our DHS websites that were focused on Awareness Month and Stop.Think.Connect campaign. So it's always great to see how your message is getting promoted and how people are mistakenly at these events and are wanting to learn the message by using the internet, going online to our websites and learning as much as they can during the month of October. And it's our hope that October is our big push for awareness, but we want people to be promoting the message year-round. So this is a really great way to do that. So I definitely recommend and implore you to work as you can to promote Awareness Month next year. And I'll have contact information at the end. But if you need any help in facilitating events, or you need ideas for any kind of brainstorming, or you're looking for a DHS speaker, you are welcome to give us a call or an email and learn more, and we're happy to help with that. So with that, you can move on to the next slide. And here's a quick picture, one last thing on Awareness Month, a picture of our secretary as well as our Deputy Undersecretary in Cyber, Jay Johnson and Ella Schneck. And this is our picture of them attending the NASDAQ closing bell ceremony in New York City. It's a really cool experience to be able to go down in Times Square and look up at one of the live billboards and see the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month logo on the NASDAQ banner. So that was a fantastic opportunity for us. And as I said, in LA, we went to Universal Studios, so the Assistant Secretary attended, and then we had our Deputy Secretary, Mayorkas, and then Donek again speak at our Chamber of Commerce event. So if you can think of conferences and events taking place next year that could even facilitate a keystone event from us, please let us know as well. If there's, large conferences that are going on or areas of the country that you think would really enjoy having a keystone event being held there, please let us know. We're already thinking and brainstorming for Awareness Month 2016. So, your comments and suggestions are not too early, as we're already starting to brainstorm for next year. So again, thank you for your participation if you did do anything during October, and we look forward to hearing all of your great stories and planning efforts for next year as well. So that, next slide, please. I kind of talk to you guys a little bit about one of the main reasons we're here today, and that's to talk to you guys about the Stop.Think.Connect campaign. So next slide, please. Our Stop.Think.Connect campaign is actually celebrating 5 years since its inception, and we're just really proud with all the strides that we've made. Stop.Think.Connect actually came out of a 2009 cyberspace policy review, and what happened was the president issued this review to take a look at the landscape of cyber across the federal government. And one of the gaps that he saw was that there needed to be more cybersecurity awareness brought to Americans. And so that's kind of where the campaign came out of. We worked with industry, academia, and other government entities to come up with the messaging so that everyone could be on board and everyone could, for the most part, agree with how we wanted to promote Awareness Month across awareness in general, in addition to Awareness Month, but how we wanted to kind of create a Smokey the Bear campaign for cybersecurity. And with that, Stop.Think.Connect was born. Next slide, please. So about the campaign, as far as like the inner workings, we actually work through public-private partnership, as I had mentioned a little earlier, with the National CyberSecurity Alliance, or NCSA, and on the just side, we actually facilitate the work that's done at the national and federal level. Also, we kind of manage our federal partnerships along with nonprofits and academia, such as yourselves. And NCSA facilitates and manages the partners with an industry. So it's pretty cool, and I'll share a little bit more in a minute about who some of those specific industry partners are. However, as I said, there's a couple different partnership groups that we work with specifically. We work with individuals, and we call that our Friends of the Campaign program, which is a part of the campaign that anyone can join. If you're interested in receiving monthly updates and tips on kind of what's going on in the world of cyber awareness, you are welcome to opt in for that messaging. But it's a really nice way to, again, stay up to date with cybersecurity awareness and get some really good tips and ideas for how you can spread awareness in your own communities and your family and friends. In addition to the Friends campaign, we have our government entities that can do the Cyber Awareness Coalition, our nonprofits that can join our national network, and then our not-for-profit college and universities that can join the Academic Alliance. So in just 5 years, we've been able to gain over 200 partners, which is just such great news for us. We obviously love to have as many people come to the table in this space as possible. And so for anyone that's on the call and is a Stop.Think.Connect campaign partner, we really appreciate your partnership, including the National CyberWatch Center. Next slide, please. Like I said, here are some of the industry partners that NCSA works with. And, for example, back with Awareness Month, Comcast actually worked with us to facilitate the Universal Studios event. So what's really cool is the fact that these industry partners, some of them could be indirect competitors in their own respective spaces, but they all decided to put that competition aside, put some of their iconic colors of their logos aside, and all co-brand with us on the Stop.Think.Connect campaign. so it's kind of fantastic to be able to have our choir get bigger so the message can be louder, and have consistent messaging across government, academia, nonprofit organizations. So again, we're just really thankful for this partnership. It allows us to cybersecurity awareness a more streamlined issue, because these industry partners are putting Stop.Think.Connect messaging on their websites. They're putting them on mailers, on some of their statements that they send out, things like that. So just good examples of some of the industry partners that are taking cybersecurity awareness to heart as much as we do. Next slide. A few of the logos from our academic partnerships. If you are interested in joining the Academic Alliance, we would love to have you as a partner. As of November, like it says, we have 72 partners out of that 200 plus number that are Academic Alliance partners. So in terms of benefits joining the Stop.Think.Connect campaign, number one, you're of course joining this 200 plus network of partners. So you're welcome to go to dhs.gov/Stop.Think.Connect and look at the huge list of partners that we have. And if you see that there's a partner there that you want to learn more from, or you want to have attend as a speaker at one of your events, or you just want to collaborate on a project or an effort that you're promoting, you can work through this partner network and start making connections that will hopefully help you move forward your own initiatives, missions, and goals for your programs, your universities, your schools, colleges, etc. Whatever you need, this partner network is fantastic. Also, you are able to co-brand with us and use any of our resources. So around Awareness Month time, we send out, for example, a huge partner packet. And this packet is kind of a guidebook for Awareness Month. It allows you to have ready-made presses and blog posts, social media posts, things that you can just really kind of plug and play. You can put your language into it. You can get from DHS leadership in some regards, and you can just kind of have all this stuff, because we know that you're not just promoting cyber awareness. You have a day job that reaches quite past just that one aspect. So we try to make it very easy for everyone to participate in the month and throughout the year by having resources available. We also are happy to help you write any additional documents that you might need as they relate to Awareness Month, so that you can better promote them through your channels in a more tailored fashion. And then lastly, one of our biggest benefits, I'd say, is the opportunity to join our monthly partner call. And so this is a call that takes place the first Wednesday of each month. And it's a very short call. We value your time, and so we try to make it under an hour. Usually it's about 30 to 45 minutes on regular. But we will update you guys on anything that's going on in the campaign. Sometimes we'll have DHS updates that we want to give you as they relate to cybersecurity awareness and education as well. And then we have a keynote speaker or a guest speaker. And these could be fellow partners that have something that they want to talk about, maybe a new initiative that they're doing or a success story on a certain topic. Like phishing or robocalls, et cetera, et cetera. And other times we bring partners in from entities or different nonprofit or for-profit organizations, even academic institutions, maybe that aren't partners. There's a host of great guest speakers that we have, and so it's a good use of your time, and we just really invite you to join the campaign if you're interested in doing so. And something that I had actually also mentioned to Casey prior to the call is that we even have the opportunity for you all to request DHS speakers. So if you're interested in having a more technical and hands-on speaker come to your school and talk to your students or your faculty about maybe current cyber threats or phishing, pen testing, digital forensics, or talking about our efforts within U.S. CERT or the NCIC 24/7 Ops Center. These are resources that you can ask us for, and we will do our best to facilitate finding you all a speaker for your events. So please keep that in mind if you're interested in internship. I think there's a number of benefits that go on even just those, but those are some of my favorites. Next slide, please. And then lastly, as it relates to the Stop.Think.Connect campaign, whether you're a partner or not, we invite you to go online and check out our Stop.Think.Connect toolkit. This is a pretty fantastic resource area of our website that we're really proud of. We have right now over 30 or 40 documents. We're always adding some and changing some up and updating them. But they are for you all. We actually specifically, when the campaign first started, we took a look at, who do they want this campaign to be for, and how do they want to tailor the messaging for it. And out of that came our different audience groups. And so you can go to DHS.Stop.Think.Connect and go specifically to resources that are available for parents and teachers, or resources that are specifically for students, young professionals, et cetera, as you can see on the slide. It's a really cool way to have some ready-made tip sheets and statistics and just kind of conversation starters, just kind of at the ready. So like I said, we're always updating these documents, but if you go online today, you can go and find PSAs, other videos, other partner resources, and then of course all of our toolkit items available for you all. And you're welcome to co-brand those as well. So kind of a very easy way to get those across and, not to reinvent the wheel or start from scratch. But we hope that these are great documents that can either, set the foundation for what you want to promote awareness in general throughout the year, or you can just print and hand them out. They are ready for printing and distribution. Next slide, please. So that is the main gist of our awareness programs, but I also wanted to give you guys some resources as they relate to our formal education offices. If you have questions about any of these specific programs, I can definitely put you in touch with those program managers and program leads, but I wanted to give you kind of a brief overview of some of the programs and resources that you may not have known about already. So next slide, please. So, as I all know, since it's very often in conversations, we need more cybersecurity professionals. We need more going to school and getting the necessary education so that they can fill that deficit and all of those open jobs. The number of jobs are only going to grow, and so obviously we need to be kind of incentivizing and motivating our students to study STEM and IT and cyber specifically. So because of that, we actually have some really fantastic resources and programs that we work on and promote. So for example, we have a grant, the CTAP grant, that was awarded to the Cyber Innovation Center, which is located in Louisiana. And they actually were able to build some cyber curriculum that can be utilized in current curriculum for teachers at no cost. So let's say that a teacher taught physics and they're thinking, okay, I don't know exactly how cyber might relate to physics. Well, they can work with the Cyber Innovation Center and have curriculum that is completely tailored to physics and STEM education. And it's a really cool way, in my opinion, to burn into a cyber topic. So, whether it's music or biology, things like that, there is curriculum that is now tailored to these different topics that you wouldn't necessarily to cyber at first glance. So we encourage you to go online and look into Cyber Innovation Center, whether you're interested in some of this curriculum as well, just kind of for situational awareness, or if you know any teachers that are in the K through 12 space as well that benefit from this kind of resource. In addition, they can either use curriculum that's good for up to 45 weeks and teach like an entire year of this curriculum, or it's also broken down into modules. So if a teacher just wants to maybe about cyber and physics, using the same example, they'd have a week-long module about it. So a very cool way to kind of plug and play into existing curriculum. And again, a really nice way to not have to reinvent the wheel for teachers. And a lot of this curriculum is already getting approved at state levels, so that it is curriculum that is approved to teach in certain states. So please look into that if you might be interested, know teachers that might be interested. Additionally, many of you likely know about Cyber Patriot, and this is obviously the high school competition that helps students apply cybersecurity skills in a more hands-on approach. So we help support Cyber Patriot, and because it's open to majoritively high school students, something that I would recommend is consider becoming a coach, or consider seeing what Cyber Patriot teams are in your community, and maybe have those students attend one of your classes, or maybe offer to give them some hands-on help education, so that this can just really impact their experience even more. So I think that it's very important at this stage to kind of start building mentor relationships and get students excited about STEM and cyber. And so a better way to go reach out to a group of students that are already a little bit interested, or even a lot interested already in cyber, and give them kind of this overall view of what a cybersecurity degree can look like and what a cyber career can look like. Another resource that might be very new to you, or maybe you have a lot of experience with it, is the CAE designation, as well as the Scholarship for Service program. I know that there are some resources already on the National CyberWatch Center website, so I'll just speak briefly to them. But having a CAE designation is a really great way for your school to be seen as having a national standard for cyber curriculum. It's a very difficult process, but I think that it pays off very much so, as well as the Scholarship for Service program. So once you get the CAE designation, you can then also apply to host a Scholarship for Service program. And just so for anyone that doesn't know about it, I'll be brief, but essentially you get funding to offer scholarships to students to study cybersecurity. And depending on the school, I know that there's SFS programs that are specifically for bachelor students, master students, and even some schools that offer doctoral scholarships to study cyber. It's a really, really great way to promote STEM and cyber for students, and it's obviously a really great motivator and incentive for students to study cyber, because you can offer them free money to go to school, and that is something that, I think no matter what year it is, money and scholarships to go to school is always very much appreciated by students and parents alike. I'm actually a product of the Scholarship for Service program. I am a graduate from Idaho State University's SFS program, and I really enjoyed attending the program and learn about cyber in this capacity. We had a very hands-on program, which was great, and I would definitely recommend this for any teachers to help promote students to go to this and utilize this wonderful scholarship opportunity. Essentially what happens is you get 2 years of school paid for, and in return you work for the government entity for the 2 years as well. However, you get a full scholarship throughout your time at school, and then you also obviously get a paid job afterwards, and oftentimes a paid internship in between. So it really is a win-win, and it helps students really understand what the cyber mission is at a government level, and really helps students back to their country in a really neat way. I was also going to let you all know that scholarship for service students can also be employed by state and local governments as well. So, you don't have to be promoting the program and telling your students that they have to go work in DC or California or New York if they don't want to go there. There's state and local opportunities, and it's a really cool way for students to get the education and then maybe even go back to a community where they were born and raised and get back to their community by being a cyber professional there. So I just wanted to make sure that you all know that, because I think sometimes, like I said, people think, okay, they have to go work for a federal government entity and there's not many opportunities. Well, in addition to having, for example, DHS offices all throughout the country, in addition to that, students can also work more at a local level if that is where their heart lies. Next slide, please. I already kind of jumped the gun on that. So just a little bit more information on the SFS program if you're interested. I guess I would just add on here then that you can get more information at sfs.opm.gov, or if you're interested, you're welcome to contact me and my colleagues, and we can also get you some additional information, whether you have students that are interested in this program or looking to get the C or the SFS designations and programs as well. Slide, please. We're actually almost done. So the last thing I kind of wanted to point out was just to put some of our wonderful cyber careers that we have at DHS. You as professors have a really unique opportunity because you're a trusted adult for these students, no matter what their age is and what their backgrounds are. They're looking to you for some advice when it comes to, hey, graduation's coming up. What should I be finishing studying? What classes should I take? Where should I work? What internship should I take? So we hope that you will be promoting perhaps a career in government service. Again, it's just a fantastic way to give back, and there are some fantastic jobs in the government space that a lot of students I don't think necessarily look at. I don't know if I would have all the great jobs that were available through the government agencies when I was working on my bachelor's degree. So thank goodness I went back for my master's and I was able to get some awareness on what we had available. So if you were to go to dhs.gov/cyber, you would be able to see all of the opportunities. So the Secret Service, for example, has some wonderful opportunities in there as they relate to the financial systems and kind of looking at the crime, along with our HSI office and the office that I work in with cybersecurity and communications. If you're interested in more of what we specifically do, please reach out, or if you have students that are interested more in what we do. But we work on anything from stakeholder engagement, which is my office, so working with stakeholders such as yourselves, partners such as yourselves, along with critical infrastructure entities, whether it's power and electric, financial institutions. We're working to make sure that everyone's security posture is as strong as it can be. We also offer cybersecurity resilience reviews that are a way for different organizations to test their networks and see how strong they are and what vulnerabilities are currently present, more on a policy side. We also have pen testers here. We have our InKick office, like I said, that is our 24/7 operations center that's constantly looking for threats across the world, and most of other fantastic divisions and offices that are all out of just our CS&C office. So with that, I hope that you will, talk to your students about opportunities within DHS or in federal government service in general. And as if you guys have any questions about that, or if you want more information on some of these, like I said, go to dhs.gov/cyber, but don't hesitate to reach out to us either. So last slide, I guess, please. Our email specifically is Stop.Think.Connect@dhs.gov. And here, if you just have any questions, you can write to us, and then on anything that I've talked about today. You can email us, and we'll make sure if we can't answer the question, we will route you to the appropriate person. Like I said, if you're looking for speakers, materials, or if you want to join the partnership, that is a wonderful email to contact us on. It basically goes directly to me and Nick and the rest of our staff. So we will make sure that we get a response to you as soon as possible, or anyone that has questions. So with that, I'll hand over to Casey and also take questions.
I'm going to unmute folks here. If anybody has any questions, I have a couple. We'll turn over to the participants. Okay, none. So, Prince, I have a question. So I'm at a 2 or 4 year school, and I want to join the Academic Alliance. What are something I can do, for example, given resources you have available? Give me an example of some kind of a program we can implement, be it in person or electronic, just to give people a sense of kind of how they can take advantage of these resources.
Sure. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I also should mention how to join as a partner. Essentially, all you have to do is send us an email at stopthinkconnect@dhs.gov and say, hi, we are such and such school, and we would like to be partners in the Academic Alliance. And in addition to that, all we need is your logo, so that we can put your name and logo on our website. And that's really it. It's very easy to join the partnership. There's no financial obligation. There's no, mandates or anything that you specifically have to do. It's all voluntary, and we just really appreciate any support that we can get from you in terms of, listening in on the calls and providing input and recommendations. So really easy way to join. In terms of kind of utilizing the benefits that we have, I guess I'll just give an example from Awareness Month. We had a number of schools that utilized our resources and put on events during the month of October. We had one school that utilized our tips, and they actually had their students create PSAs, and they had students give cybersecurity tips to fellow students over the radio. And then these are actually utilized throughout the month of October, and I think they're being used along, and they were able to even get up some local media attention as well on their specific cybersecurity awareness programs through these PSAs. So we kind of see this as a good foundational step for people to kind of pivot and project off of through kind of simple templates we have already. So they used our tips for that. They also gave presentations across their communities in K through 12 schools, along with non-technical or non-IT or cyber classes. So we're going to K through 12 schools, talking to students about cybersecurity awareness as careers to junior high level or high school freshmen who are now taking these classes for credits and everything. And they also went to some of the business classes and some of the classes who maybe aren't quite as exposed to IT and cyber specifically on a daily basis. So in my opinion, the Academic Alliance is a really neat and easy way to have resources at your disposal to then use with your students. So, your students are very smart and very capable. Some of them might feel like you already have a really good baseline as it relates to cybersecurity awareness education. So, utilize these resources and have your students then become leaders in their communities and at their schools by using these resources and sharing them with the schools and the community.
Thanks for that. And I can share, we did at National CyberWatch during October. So, one is just the Stop.Think.Connect resources include a media release template so that we would then work with our communications office within Prince George's Community College and, just send out. So that was kind of week one activity. And then I think week two we did a promotion through social media. Week three was kind of a news blast, giving tidbits on how to secure your systems with some tips. And we worked within the college. So this messaging not only went to our members, but within the college itself. And the point simply, you can have an activity set up each week during National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and it was really very, very minimal effort on our part. Most of those resources were made available through the DHS, through the Stop.Think.Connect program, and we simply modified it for our purposes, provided a quote. So what else did I want to share regarding that? Oh, you had mentioned, and I want to reiterate it, Princess, that awareness isn't just in October, right? And so there's an opportunity through this program also to get in front of your various stakeholders throughout the year. In addition to October. In a way, almost, the tricky part about National Cybersecurity Awareness Month is that there are a lot of activities going on, and one of my concerns is that perhaps our messaging gets lost in the vast array of other messaging going on during that month. And so just another reason perhaps to think about kind of awareness campaigns in addition to October, and awareness campaigns defined broadly. So for your college or university, or for members of your community at large. So I just wanted to point those out.
Exactly, and I think what is even great as well about partnering with us is that all the efforts that you do in October as well as throughout the month, they get highlighted. Throughout the year, they get highlighted at the national level. You have DHS support, and so by highlighting what Casey did, for example, that gets put into after action reports that get seen by DHS leadership, get seen by the White House, et cetera, et cetera. And so, what better way to have your efforts promoted through this partnership? Also, if your university or college is doing something that's very significant and you want to highlight it across the country, we have our Friends newsletter. So like I said, you could become a friend of the campaign. Well, in our monthly newsletter, we're highlighting partner resources and partner updates sometimes as well. And so, this is a listserv that goes over to over 5,000 people across America. So what better way to promote your school than to have it in different communications like this? So I'm trying to think what else. I was also just going to mention, because I also have a human resources background, I think, I always promote resume building. And so not only could your students put the Stop.Think.Connect campaign on their resumes if they help participate in this campaign with you and promote it across their school and community, but you as a school or as a specific program can promote this as being a partner as well. And I know that some universities and colleges have actually briefed their senior leadership, like their university or college president and the administration, during October and also throughout the year on various efforts as they relate to cybersecurity. So I think that, being a partner is just a really easy to get your message across, and it just, it's a respected partnership. So we want you to utilize us and our resources, and we also want to hear about the great things that you guys are doing as well.
Are there any questions? Mute folks here. Is there anything you wanted to add at all?
No, I think you and Princess have done a great job covering everything. Today.
Thank you to both of you. And in terms of what will happen next, so look in inboxes for future webinar invites. We'll be keeping the same format, which is an hour-long last Friday of each month, excluding November, the last Friday in November being the day after Thanksgiving. So this is the exception to the rule. We have past webinars on the CyberWatch Center website under the events link, and we record these, make these available. Today's slides are in fact already up on the CyberWatch website, nationalcyberwatch.org, under events, and you'll see a Stop.Think.Connect button or icon, and the presentation slides are available. This will also be, I'll post this URL in the chat room. This will also be the page where we'll post a link to, or make a link to the recording of this on our YouTube channel. So hearing no other questions, and thanks everybody for coming. Thank you, Nick and Princess. Appreciate your time and sharing the resources with us. And just also want to personally thank you for these efforts. They're hugely important. And so I just want to thank both of you, and hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Casey, and everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.